Namaste, my friends, and welcome to another one of my videos from my favorite place, outside in the woods, hearing everything from airplanes to birds. This is how it is. But this is, amazing. And I'm coming to you today to talk about a topic that is very dear to me, very close to me, that I think all of my clients will notice is very close to me, and that is the emotional part of any journey. Not only the labels that people will try to tell you, or the things that they will try to tell you that you have, but also during your healing journey, because that's all we want, right? We want healing. And when you talk about these things that I'm going to talk to you about, there is shame, there is anger, and there are a lot of misconception, misunderstanding, and terrible suffering connected to this. I'm talking about anxiety and depression. I'm talking about what not everybody will talk about. Today we're getting more open, but we're still not understanding, see? Because we're still in the world of disease. We're still in the world of thinking and believing that there's anything wrong with us, or that a label requires special treatment. Okay, I know I'm going out on a limb here, but follow me on this one. So, for me, and for the people that I work with, what I see is the same as I saw with me, my experience. And I never speak about anything that is not 100% something that I have experienced myself, okay? I had severe anxiety. I had anxiety attacks and was taken to the hospital several times. The periods of my so-called depression came after I was heavily medicated, and mostly as a part of the dark night of the soul, which I write a lot about in the second book that I wrote called Know the Truth and Get Healthy. It was a darkness that comes from shattering the ego, from walking away from everything that's not serving you. That's another issue. I am going to talk about the anxiety and the depression, so-called. I have to use those words because that's how you're going to understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about it in a way that hopefully inspires you to take better care of yourself, so that you understand that you don't have to suffer with any of these type of labels. Let's talk about depression first, okay? Let's talk about depression and what it is. Let's talk about why I see so many people that I call being more life depressed. I'm not talking about the times where you go into deep grief, because grief is not depression. Grief is a response, I would say, a response to something very traumatic happening in your life. And that is all good. We're supposed to live through all the roller coaster rides of our lives. We're supposed to go through what we perceive as good and what we perceive as not so good. We're supposed to have emotional connection with the world. That's my belief. That's why we're here. We're not here to sit through this life in complete silence with no emotional attachment. Now, being attached has a ring to it, and we use that word towards something that we feed on and let someone feed off of us through. I'm not talking about that type of detachment. I'm talking about more of a connection, an emotional connection, because we're all connected at one level. We're all in this together. What I see is the type of depression that is very, very physical. So most people are not sad. They're not dark or heavy in their energy per se. They have a thyroid that is not functioning optimally. they have this gland in their throat, which is impairing their self-expression, which is the throat chakra, which will hold you back from expressing who you truly are. What I see is when that gland is impaired in any way, when it is mucused up, when it is slowed down, when it is choking with mucus, bacteria, acids, waste, shit, it cannot function properly. It excretes and it produces hormones. All of our glands are this part of the government in the body, and they are balancing everything, sending out signals, keeping everything together. They're the wires that goes from A to B to C to D. And we have a chakra for every single gland. So the emotional component is enormous. Now we could say that the thyroid parathyroid has to do with the calcium absorption, and that the calcium depletion will also, set you into a limbo of emotional upheaval. But to me, it's even more simple than that. You slow down your whole metabolism. You slow down your whole vitality. It's not easy to feel amazing when everything's going, on half gear, when everything's going on a 30% speed. You feel low. And when your thyroid is impaired and your self-esteem is going down with it, the way you see yourself and the way you express yourself, your self-worth, this is what I see as depression. So if this is what you're feeling, I am urging you to look at your body, look at yourself, look at detoxification, look at how we can walk you through this, because it's natural for you to be happy and healthy. And when we are healthy, we are actually happy, because that is our natural state. Look at a little child. It can fall down, something can happen to it, ooh, this, it hurts. Immediate reaction or response, and then they're over it. It's natural. They're back to their natural state. We're allowing ourselves to carry with us everything that happened to us. But I do not see that as happening if your glands are in balance. If your thyroid and parathyroid are in balance, if your pituitary is in balance so that all of your glands are in balance, your emotional life will be in balance, because the glands, they serve down to all the organs. And your anger is seated in your liver, you see. This is why I also do liver flushing, because so much anger is stuck in there, and so many stones get formed in there to protect all the toxins. And you could say that it's, what comes first, the egg or the hen? You never know, right? Can you really know? Did the anger come first and impair the liver, or did the liver first get impaired by diet and lifestyle or your genes, and then came the anger? It really doesn't matter though, because you approach it in the same way. You cleanse everything out from the body so that the tissue can regenerate, so that everything can rebuild the way it's supposed to be. The body rebuilds itself all the time. Every cell is renewable. It's what the body does. Are we supposed to live forever? I don't know. I don't know how that goes. I just know that living the way we do, impairing ourselves the way we do, full of acids, that's not the way to do it. We are killing ourselves very slowly with all the proteins, with everything that we're eating. If we don't go back to our natural state of raw food and go through detoxification, it will lead us to where we are right now. Depression and anxiety, sickness, health, and pain. Large scale is what we're seeing. And the depression, it's like a carpet that will hold down your expression. It will hold down your enthusiasm and your creativity and your ability to create and build the life that you really want. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of tricky, because how do you get out of that limbo once you're stuck in not feeling good? Once you're stuck in feeling sad and somebody told you that you're depressed, and you're sitting down and you're thinking there's something wrong with you mentally, that there's something wrong with your brain or your head. Your brain is simply a tool, it's an organ. I don't see depression as of the brain at all. But what I see is when people are numbed down from medications and processed food and everything you get in the supermarket, vaccines, old belief systems, they really, really, really do live in that constant life depression. And from there, it's very, very easy to fall deeper, if something happens in your life, because you don't have anything to buffer it with, right? You already feel weak. Well, you're not weak. I don't care if you feel depressed, you're never weak. Your soul is always strong. You are not your body. You are your soul. You are a light. You are a spiritual being. Okay? So that's the depression. And with depression, anxiety is most often not far behind or on the side of. We see them together. Why? Because anxiety comes from another great gland that has so much to do with your health. And that's your adrenal gland. It sits on top of your kidneys. Little bitty things. So important. And when you feel anxiety, that means that you really have adrenal glands that are not functioning optimally. When they go out of sync, you feel anxious. You can have all the symptoms of a full-born anxiety attack, and it will be your adrenals. I was diagnosed and I was told that I had general anxiety. That meant I was scared of everything, although I knew I was scared of nothing. When people ask me, what are you afraid of? I said, I'm not afraid of everything, of anything, but my body is showing me all these symptoms. I'm sorry. My body is showing me sweaty hands, sweaty palms, irregular heartbeat, erased heartbeat, higher pulse. I'm about to faint. I feel like I'm going to lose it. I feel like I have brain fog. This is what my body was showing me of symptoms. And these are the symptoms of a weak, slammed down, almost dead adrenal. When you get to the point where you have nerve rings in your eyes, when I can see nerve rings in your eyes, you've been at this state for quite some time. Okay? This is not something that came over you last week. And our adrenals are so weakened, generation by generation, from our lifestyle, what we're handing down to our children. It's almost impossible to find someone today that has strong adrenals. And if you don't have strong adrenals, you cannot filter through your kidneys, so you can't get all that crap out from your lymphatic system. I know I speak fast, but I get so enthusiastic about this because I could hardly get to the mailbox. I could not find myself getting out of bed, getting downstairs to go to the mailbox. I was scared. My whole body was shaking for several years. It was the biggest task for me to be able to go to a hairdresser 2 years later. So what did I do? Did I take medications? No. Did I go to see a psychiatrist? No, I did not do that. I healed. I let my body heal. I took care of the underlying cause. I took care of my adrenals. I loved my adrenals. I loved myself. The adrenals are the fear, and they're sitting on top of the kidneys, which represent all fear. So if you're living a fearful life, if you're living a very stressful life, low stress, it'll kill you. It's making your adrenals go into the mode of producing not only cortisol, but also adrenaline. For no apparent reason, it just keeps on going low grade. It's like the low grade inflammation that will, soon just degenerate all of your cells. And it's hard to even notice. So we have to look at our lives. That's the emotional part. Look up my emotional videos. This is physical, but it's all woven together. It's exciting, but it can almost feel complicated, which is not at all. See, all you have to do is step back, and realize I'm perfect. I am so perfect. Love your body, love your life, love everything about yourself. You're worthy. You are already loved. So you have to love yourself too. And that is not only through the emotional state. You have to act on it. You have to mean it, You have to walk your talk. I don't care. I don't care what you say, that you can sit down and you can think it and you can feel it. Yes, you can. But there's always an action to go with it. You cannot contradict your belief with an opposite action. That will actually tell your body you're not speaking the truth, and you will not know who to believe. Your emotions, your feelings, your desires, or your actions. They have to come together perfectly. Only then are you authentic. Only then are you true to yourself. Only then will magic happen. Because it's like putting out a puzzle. Everything goes together. Then clack, you have it. And no fear attached. Just remember who you are, and remember nature, and remember that it is natural to be happy and healthy, and you're worthy of it. So once you start walking down that path and you start changing your diet to more of a healthy, raw, vibrant, natural diet consisting of fruits and vegetables that you are designed to eat, then guess what happens? You feel better on all levels. You're no longer depressed. You're no longer anxious. It's just an effect about taking away the cause. Now you are the effect, not the cause creating everything and you being a victim, because we're never a victim. See? And there's never anything called, well, I'm not strong enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't have money enough, or I'm not this or that. It doesn't exist in the world of creation, because we only are what we are. And you are this. You are healthy. You can never be anything but healthy. You don't have a depression. You don't suffer from anxiety. You are living the effect of your lifestyle and the ones before you, your mother and father, together with your own choices. You're living the effect, and our emotional life is so attached to our physical body and vice versa, that taking care of everything together is the only way, the way that I see it. But when it comes to anxiety and depression, which can be so heavy for so many people, I see it as a very, very potent place to start with your diet. Then condition yourself mentally to believe and trust that you are only a result of the health of your glands, organs, your systems. And that can be changed. And it doesn't matter how many years you walk that path, you can always change. It might take time, but you can change. Look at my videos about the why. Find your why. And take just that one step at a time. Take one step, and then the next day, take another one. And then the next day, take another one. And then, before you know it, you walked several miles. And don't look for the solutions in the way that don't look for the improvements every day. See, it took a long time to tear down what we've been tearing down here. It will take time to rebuild. First, we have to cleanse. You see, the body has a hard time regenerating while it's still full of shit, you know? It's hard to clean a house while you're still pouring the shit in the window. First, we have to stop it. And that's the fun part, because once we stop it, once we start ingesting and thinking and walking towards what's been holding us back, we immediately feel the difference. We immediately feel lighter. It doesn't take long. You don't have to commit for the rest of your life. You only have to say yes, 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 yes to life. Yes, I'm going to try this. Yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to go all in. Yes, I'm worth it. Just by saying that, just by taking that first step, I can put my hand out to you and I say, hey, you know, let me help you. This is what I do. This is what I do. I support people. I coach people. I make sure you get there. This is my mission. My mission is, of course, to tell you what you can eat. It's, of course, to tell you my story. It is, of course, the way I see it, to be a representative of what can be done. Because I lived through it. But you see, my greatest wish is to be able to reach you with a message saying, you are damn powerful. You are amazingly crazy, sexy, and worthy. Every day. It doesn't matter where you are, what you did, how you feel. Today is the day that you can change everything. Because by changing something, you're actually changing everything. You're changing the course of your entire life just by changing a little bit at a time. So, dear friend, if you're feeling anxious, know that this is your adrenal speaking. Go fix it. If you're feeling depressed, know that this is mostly your thyroid, parathyroid, together with the other glands that are speaking. And you can lift this just by walking towards a healthier life through detoxification and regeneration. Now there are challenges. There are very heavy challenges when it comes to our mental and emotional world today. So what I just told you is the simple version that will catch about 95% of you. Now there are people out there that have gone through brain damage, that have severe personality disorders, that really need to dig in and go through a lot of demons. And there are people out there that are heavily medicated, you know, where this is going to be quite a challenge. There will always be that. But even if, you can always do better. You can always do better. So just know this. I haven't felt anxious in years. I feel back to my normal, happy, amazing self. And it's hard to explain what that feels like because I am not sure I ever felt like this before, in this way. This freedom, this empowerment of knowing that it is all up to me. Knowing that I hold the power to change. That is true freedom. Do I have to live through ups and downs? Of course. Will still things happen in my life? Of course. But I'm not losing myself to it. See? I'm walking it. I'm allowing it. So clean out everything and step into the mumbo jumbo, okay? So I want to challenge you at the end of this video, again. I want to challenge you to step into a fruit diet for 1 or 2 weeks if you're feeling low in energy, feeling a little depressed, a little anxious. Just go on a fruit and maybe some vegetables, a high raw diet for a week or 2, and then let me know. Just let me know what happens, because change will happen pretty quick. Something will happen pretty quick. If you've been sick for a long time or feeling out for a long time, you can reach out to me, you know, and we'll do it more slowly. But that was my message today. And that is the story, and I'm sticking to it. So namaste, my friends. If you like this video, please like it, please share it, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll be back soon with more videos. Namaste.